let's have a look at marking and handing back work and giving student feedback via Google Classroom. We'll have a look at this from a teacher view, then we'll look at it from the student view. Okay, so here we are looking at the teacher view of Google Classroom. So you'll see I have the new Meet integration enabled, which is sitting up here. If we have a look on my classwork page, we can see all the work I have assigned to students, my topics down the side here, different topics relating to the different work sitting on the desktop there. If I pop across to the People tab, you'll see there are my students added. This one has their guardian added as well, so you can invite guardians to the different students in your class, so the guardians will get the guardian updates via email. Then we can have a look at the grades page. So on the grades page, we can see what has been handed in. So these are the pieces of work I have assigned and the due date across the top. You can see this one has a due date, the rest don't. If we want to have a look at the election work, which only one person has handed in, we can click up the top here and have a look at the work. If we want to have a look at this one, where everyone has handed it in, we can click on that one. So let's go and have a look at our USA elections task. If I click on the name, it will open up the task here. Now it will show me that this student has turned in the work. Everyone else is still waiting. So 1 is turned in, 5 are assigned. I can see this student sent me a message saying this is really hard. Can you please have a look? So if I click on this, it will show me their work at the top. When I created this assignment, I attached a rubric to it. So I can click in here and give them a score for their research skills and a score for the information submitted. This is the student comment here. I can simply reply direct back to them and say, you did well. Okay, so I can send a reply back to that student to say, have a look at my comments. So if I now click on this work, and I can open it up and have a look at it. So I can either just open the doc, and what it does now is it opens in the marking shell. We have some tips here of how to use it. So here is the student's work sitting in the middle. I'm just going to close the document outline. So this is the student's work they have handed in. Over on the side here, I can give them a grade, and I can click on, there is my rubric that I've added to this work as well. So if I have a look at the work, and I think, well, maybe we probably shouldn't say that. I can click on add a comment. And I can click comment. Okay, so there is a comment attached to that there. Now, if I wanted to make sure the student saw that comment via their email, I could tag them in it. There, and their email pops up. So now I have tagged them in a comment. They'll get an email to say that I made a comment, and they can then reply back to me. So that's the way we can give a direct comment to them with a little bit of feedback. Okay, down the bottom here, I might then go, this is a great picture. Okay, and they'll be able to view that. Now what I can do over the side here is I can give, there's those private comments I made before, I can give some more feedback on those. The research skills, I'm going to give them a 2 out of 3. And the information, I'm going to give them a 2 out of 3 as well. There is a grade, I can switch that grade on and off. And I can also go from the grading tab to our comment bank. So what I can do is I can save a comment for reuse later. Okay, and this will step you through how we do that. Okay, so if I go add the comment bank, okay, if I think that's a comment I might use again, then I can simply use that as my comment bank. Now what happens with this is I copy it, I go over to my work here, and if I do highlight, add a comment and paste it, there's the information from my comment bank. Comment. So now I'm making good comments on those students' work, so I can add a whole lot of comments down here to allow me to comment on their work and give feedback within this marking area here. Once I'm done with that, I can click to return. I can drop this down to choose multiple submissions if there are multiple there. There is just one here, so I'm going to click return, and that will go back to the student. So that means it's their work again. They can then update it. Or I can decide I'm not going to return that student and just not return the student's work and just leave it handed in. I can drop this down and look at the other student's work that's in here, or I can simply go backwards and forwards through the student work. So that's the way that we can give some feedback on work. We can click return to give it back to them, and they can then work on it again and resubmit that work to me. I can use my comment bank to give comments on the work that's been done through here. I can use the grading section through here to give them a grade. Use the rubric. Now the rubric was added when I created the assignment, and there are my private comments down there. So if we go back to the USA elections task, you can see now that this shows up through here where the rubric is. The student's work has been returned to them. If I go back to the instructions, it shows you what the instructions are. You see the rubric had 2 criteria on it. I go back to my classroom, into the grades. I can see that this one here has been marked because it's in the black color. These ones are draft returns, and this one has not been marked. So that's how we can use Google Classroom to give feedback and to mark work and return it to our students online wherever we are or whenever we happen to be doing that work. All right, let's have a look at Google Classroom from a student view. So this is me logged in as a student. When we see our class that we are a part of, it's Mr. Smith's demo class. Look down here, this is the work that is assigned for the students. This is their classroom folder they can go to. So as a student, if I click on the work that has been assigned to me, I can see that I have turned in this assignment. This task is still assigned to me, as is this assignment here. This one was turned in and done late. So if I click on this one that is assigned, I can view the details, or I can click directly into the doc. If I view the details, it will show me that I can turn it in. Here is my work here. So if I open that piece of work, so here is my work here. Yep, that looks like it's all done to me. So I'll close this tab and go back to my work. So it's here. My work is attached. I'm going to turn that in. I could add a comment to my teacher. Okay, so that will send a private comment to my teacher. So there it is. I can now turn in my work. One attachment will be submitted. I will turn it in. So I've just submitted that work to my teacher. Now if I want to update it, I can click unsubmit, take it back, and complete the work again. Now if I go back to the classroom, here is my class. If I have a look at my class work, I can again view my work. Here is the new Meet integration, allows me to have a video chat. Here is my calendar. If I look down here, there is my task, which I have handed in. So that is how it looks from a student's side of things. There is the task. There is what was handed in. That was my name, Geo1. I can view that assignment. There it is again. So it has been handed in. That is my private comment. No comment has come back from my teacher as yet. So if I go back here to all my classes, that will take me back to this original view we saw. If I click on my work now, you'll see that this was turned in. That was turned in. My ancestors' work has not been done yet. So that's how the work looks from a student's point of view. I haven't answered my question there. The details, ask your family where your ancestors came from, and it's simply to put a comment into it. So here's my answer up here. Okay, and then I can simply turn in that answer. I can click this to see what my classmates said. It showed I'm turned in. So if I go back to the classroom, I can see I have no work available here. If I go back to my main classes again, just so I can see this link as we had in the beginning, there it is. I can see that I've turned in all my work now, so everything is there for me and my work is all handed in, which is quite nice. I can go back to our classwork page and just see if anything new has been posted yet. This will show me the people in my class. If I click here, it will open my class drive folder. So that's how Classroom looks when we're looking at it from a student's point of view to see what work is currently available to be handed in.